Hey guys. Hey, today's video is really going to be different than what I've ever done before. I bought a new camper, and it's a tough decision for me to make purchases like that. I mean, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars sometimes, and you got to get it right. Well, and to be honest with you, tens of thousands of dollars is not something I wanted to commit to. So we're going to talk about the THAIR Camper. It's the Air, or THAIR Camper. It's an inflatable cab-over camper. A couple of years ago, I went on a trip by myself, solo, down to Utah. I live in Idaho, and I was going to the Canyonlands, Moab, Arches, you name it, all those. I think I hit like 5 parks. It was such a great time. And I was in a hurry, and I needed a topper. I figured that I would sleep in the back of my pickup truck, and I needed something that was a little bit of comfort just in case the weather got bad. And so I looked at some of the fiberglass toppers, and my goodness, I couldn't believe how expensive they got. And I'm not exactly a fan of those because I've had one before and got rid of it because I didn't like it. So I built a bed platform that would fit over the wheel well and bought this flated cab-high inflatable topper. I got a really good deal on it because the folks that had ordered it before, they ordered the wrong size, and so they gave me a nice hefty discount. I think I paid $1,200 for it. Shipped it right away, got it within just a couple of days. What a great product. And I'll tell you, if you are interested in something like that, you need to check out their store online. It's amazing. So I had that camper on the back of my pickup truck for a good 2 years. I recently sold it because as much as I loved it, I made the mistake of buying a cab high instead of the one that was like 6 inches taller than the cab so that you could sit up a little more comfortable. And there's a few things that I learned out of having that inflated camper. One, it was lightweight. I could move it around, install it, uninstall it as needed. I could use my truck as a truck when I needed it. I have the short 5.5-foot bed, so it's kind of tiny. Hindsight, I'll never buy another truck with a 5.5-foot bed. Always 6 foot or 8 foot. The windows had a clear plastic over them, then it had a screen mesh so you could have window and airflow. You could set it up on the inside how you like it. I never had water come through. I did have some problems with the zipper, but that was mostly my fault for not taking care of it and putting the zipper conditioner on more often. But other than that, it was a great little camper. I still even have the bed that I had created to fit in the back. So anyways, I sold that. And a few months ago, I was watching some YouTube channels about overland camping and rigs and gear and all that kind of stuff. I'm not an overlander because I'm a little scared to go by myself and do that kind of stuff. Plus, I have my truck, and that's my everyday driver, so I don't want to damage it. But THAIR Camper did a walkthrough of their product, and I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. An inflatable cab-over camper. I've never seen one. As a matter of fact, I don't think one has ever existed before. So for months, I've been going back and forth. I've looked at some of the ones that mount on the bed rail with the, the pop-up and the bed over the top. I'm in my garage with the bed over the top of the cab, and man, I really like those. And I'll tell you what, if I was willing to commit $15,000, $30,000, I probably would get one of those. But that's a lot of money, and I didn't want to commit that much. I'm getting close to retirement, and I want to save everything I can for those adventures versus that type of camper. So ideally, that would be the kind I would get because they're very lightweight and you can take them on and off your truck. So I finally made the decision, and I bought a THAIR camper. And today's video is going to be an overview of me setting it up and installing it on my truck. It weighs 180 pounds. It cost me $2,100, another $400 for shipping. I also got a few accessories. I think that the price right now is I think it's $2,100 right now, and their website says that it's going to be going up to $3,000 here real soon. So I missed out on the first initial buy, which was like I think I could have got everything for $2,100 out the door, something like that. But I waited too long. I procrastinated on my decision. So anyways, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and install that thing. I'm going to try to film it and show you guys what it looks like. All right, so before we do the install, I wanted to show you how big this thing is. It's, well, I think it's like 72 inches if I remember correctly. And they delivered it in a crate. Oh, that's the other thing. I ordered it and it was here 3 days later. I couldn't believe how quickly they shipped this thing. So, very fast, very well crated to protect it. It's in a bag that you can reuse it, so as you store it for winter or whatever you might want to do, you can reuse the bag that it came in so that you can keep it safe. Eventually this will go out in my shed, but here we go. Okay, let's talk about what came with it. So you got the manual pump, you got a patch repair kit, and for some reason I got two pumps. Oh, I see, one's electric and one's a DC and rechargeable. Hey, that's pretty slick. So you get two. That was nice of them. All right, there it is. We're getting ready to set it up. So I cleared off the driveway, cleaned out the back of the pickup bed, make sure everything's clean, nothing pokey in there, and here we go. Say that the front is a little weird. It seems like it's dipping forward, and I'm not sure. No, it seems to be right. It is easy to move. Took a while. I did use the inflators that came with it. All right, the next thing is to try to get it on the truck. And I can tell you that as much of a pain in the butt as it was to put together, I don't know that I want to deflate it. Which means I gotta store it somehow. Interesting. Better look. Okay, she's all blown up. Wow, now I gotta load her on the truck. So it's not actually that hard to move around. It's easier now that it's blown up because you got something to hang on to. Windows were a real pain to put on. Once you got the zipper going, it was fine. So 180 pounds, not bad. Okay, let's put it on the truck. windows. Let me turn the camera. These are windows that you can lower for nighttime or when it's cold. And so it's supposed to fit in there. I probably have to deflate it a little bit, but it's supposed to give you some extra R value, which makes sense. Keep it warm in here. To be honest with you, I've got the windows on it right now, so the windows can be rolled up on the outside. Here's up in the bed. I haven't actually climbed up here yet, but it is pretty solid. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of impressed that I can stand up. I can sit on the edges. It's firm enough. There's 4.5 to 5 pounds in each chamber, which is sufficient. I can sit here, I can put my feet up. I could actually sleep here on one of these. And they do have a couple of accessories that widen these, so they come out another 4 to 6 inches, something like that. So if you wanted to, you could sleep on the sides, and then you could just use the upper bed for storage. Regardless, this thing did pretty good. I admit, it was no different than driving with a cab over on. I got up to highway speeds, not a problem. There's no bells and whistles. It's $2,000. Shouldn't expect much more than that, but I kind of like it a little more simple. I want to bring my own water, bring my own everything basically, and what I just realized is the door is wide enough that I can fit my bikes in here. Now I have a couple of bikes. I've got an e-bike, e-mountain bike, and a regular mountain bike, and I was going to carry them on the back end, which really I don't like doing because you don't, you know, I just don't like having my bikes on the outside. I've always carried them in the bed as much as possible. So I might actually be able to, there's so much room in here. I could bring them in here and lay them down on each side and not have to worry about somebody trying to take off with them or them getting damaged. So I'm actually kind of encouraged about that. All right, so far so good. I'm liking it. For $2,000, you can't complain.